Hey guys, I'm at a little area called Morrison's and it's all country area. It's down the back roadways here. I've seen a couple of little mining sort of sites and that, but it's basically all country area, so you probably hear a lot of cows in the background and a few different types of animal and bird sounds. So I've checked out this place on Google Maps and I found it on Google Earth, and I thought, well, I'll come out here and just have a bit of a looky-see and see what it's like. Yeah, so it's a very tiny place. I like to go out and have a look at some of the smaller cemeteries. You know, it's all well and good having a look at some of the bigger ones, but I kind of like the smaller ones as well. You know, you never know what you're going to find. I've been out to some massive, amazing cemeteries. Been across to Scotland and England and had a look at a couple of the cemeteries down through there, and it's just amazing. But you know, even some of the smaller ones like in country Victoria are quite fascinating to have a look at. You know, some of the history, and yeah, let's just go and have a bit of a squiz and see what we can find. What do you reckon? So welcome to Morrison Cemetery. Have a little walk through, and as I said, it's all farming country and everything. Got my little K2 in front of me just in case there's any spirit that want to come forward, have a bit of a look. And these are little monumental pieces. William and Louisa Parkinson. Sounds like there's a bit of a cow out there that's having a bit of an issue. Not to worry. They settled at Morrison's in 1859. And the caption says, "We celebrate their pioneering spirit, faith and determination." Very nice. John and I think it's Jane Furness, who settled at Morrison's in 1860. Charles and Francis Ford. Once again celebrating their pioneer spirit, settled in 1860. Now it's not a very big cemetery, but you often find that the smaller ones can be quite fascinating. Now I've come here just before sunset, about an hour to go I suppose, just because I don't know the terrain, and sometimes it's good to come and check out the area that you're going to go into, so that you're finding out where all the potholes are, so to speak, all the rabbit holes. Now I noticed there are a couple of newer ones around too, so you can see a couple in the background there. So it's still used by people in the area. Just have a little bit of a wander, see what we can see. If there's any spirit that want to come up close to my little meter that lights up in front of the camera, please do so. Come with a lot of respect, a lot of love. Joshua Richard Wells, born in 1829 and died in 1911. A couple of people by the name of Glasson. Passed away in 1903 at the age of 74. It's a nice, not too bad age, that one. Charles Clark and Elizabeth, died in 1895. couple of older ones here. A lady here from 2016. A couple of the older graves here. So a bit of a wander around, check it out. But you often wonder how these people lived, what they did. John Atkinson at the back here, 1908, and his wife Annie, lots of blessings to you. Richard Burt died at the age of 44 in 1882. Francis Joseph and John Annie Atkinson, Atchison, sorry, 1896. Must get myself one of those gimbals, I think, because we're getting a little bit of bounce. I've actually got this on a tripod. My tripod holds a few little bits of gear. Francis Ford here. This one's probably a pretty old one because it's sunken. Ah, we got some hits on the K2. Can't quite read this name. Euphemina. Euphemina, that's a strange name. Is that you, Euphemina? He died on 28th of August 1882, age 96. Is this you? Or is this you, Francis? Not Francis. Is it Euphemina? Can you light it up again, Euphemina, if it's you? Interesting spike. Is it someone else? Can you light up the meter again? If you're not either of these two people. Okay, let's just move back. See why we're getting a spike. I'm looking directly into the sun, so I can't really see what the camera's doing. Person who spiked up this meter, you're connected to this headstone here that's sunken into the ground. Okay. You're connected to another grave somewhere around here. You get that sometimes, you get a spirit that just sort of wavers in. Unfortunately over there's a little bit of a busted, one of those flowery things or something on top of the grave. There's a couple of interesting ones up the back there, must have a look before the sun goes down. Let's have a quick look through here. And again, I can't see the camera because I'm facing right into the sun. Ah, here's one, Leanne, is it? Or Annie? Anne Anderson. And it's just a little cross. But yeah, you often wonder how these people lived, what they did in their lives. Just before that sun goes down, I'm going to go out towards the back there and just have a quick look over there. As I said before, I like these small cemeteries because you never know what you're going to find. Now, isn't this quite nice? There's no name connected to this one at all, but how cute is that? Somebody put a little bit of thought into it, a bit of love there. And this one, it's just all rocks. Loving memory of Gordon Lawrence Clancy. Died in 1997. Now, there's a lot of tall grass around, so I'm being a little bit wary of where I'm walking and what's around, because it's not quite snake season here yet, but you just never know what's crawling around in the tall grass. We've got some newer ones here. Normally don't film these, but because it is a smaller cemetery, it's got me intrigued. Loving memory of Johan Herman van Hulsen. Died in 2018. Gone from sight, that is all. Rest in peace. Loving memory of Ernie Ferdinander Johanna van Hulsen Dittmar. Dittmar is it's a known name to me, but not from this area, that's for sure. So this is a family plot. Died in 1998, and Peter Jan Pete van Hulsen. Died in 2011. Now, these names here are very Dutchish, Germanic, and just behind there's an interesting little, just going to have a quick look. Oh, it's a stone. Here we go. See, you never know what you're going to find. This is really cool. Excuse me, peoples. You just never know what you're going to find in these little cemeteries. Very interesting. There's a little frog in there. Don't know if you can see it. And this is Ernie F.J. van Hulsen Dittmar. Dearly loved wife of Jan. Devoted mother of a whole heap of people. But this is really cool. I like this, and it's got a couple of names on there, the Dittmar name, and whoops, that was me. Oh, KT's going off. Little frog in there too. That was probably me bumping the K2. And over here, I'll just move past it a little bit. There's another little cross, so I'd say it is part of the family, but I'm not sure what park, because there is no name on this one. But it is in the same area right here, right at the very, very back of the cemetery, and as you can see, all the tall grass, so you never know what you're going to find in this tall grass. Have a bit of a walk over in that area and see what we can find. So in this area here we've got some of the newer graves, and like I said before, I don't really centre too much on the newer graves, just for respect for the families who do live in the area. They happen to see the vid and wonder why the hell I'm filming their families. Just a little bit of respect there. So I try to centre on some of the older ones, like fascinating little pieces like this one here. To the memory of James Baldry, who departed this life September the 10th, 1875, age 59. So was he a farmer? Was he a miner? Who knows? And just as I'm walking through this area here, I've spotted another little headstone right behind, right in front of this massive conifer tree. So let's see what this has got. It's absolutely nothing. I'd say it was just something that was originally planted on a grave but has been taken away. Probably something in the grave has changed. Not too sure about that. Oh, this one's got a couple of kids in here. Obviously it's a bit of a family sort of plot, this one. John Henry, age 14, Josiah, there's a name you don't hear much of. Josiah, aged 9, who were accidentally drowned. 23rd of March 1882, gone but not forgotten. Well, there you go, some of the stories that might come out of these people and families. How were they drowned? Where were they drowned? Was it a river? Was it a flood? We don't know. A couple of older ones here again, and behind them a couple of the newer ones. I'm not going to centre too much on these ones, they are new ones, but it was just fascinating to see this sort of style. I've not seen this sort of style before. Clipswood Park X Super AAA FM, whatever that is, Lancelot Noble Ray, and there is a an insignia on there, small insignia for the Anzacs or something, I think, or whatever. And Bindi Ray Rankin, that's quite a nice one too. Got a photo of her on there as well. Won't centre too much on that one. This one's not all that old either. This seems to be a little bit worn. 1977. And this one's quite a good substantial one here. Oh, yeah, get a little bit of sun behind it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? A little bit of sun flare there. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have a bit of fun with this sun flare. Loving memory of John Matheson, Molesworth. Of Ballarat Estate, Morrison's born at St Kilda. 18th of February 1878, died at Ballark, which is somewhere in the area I think, 1942. So it's quite a substantial one. Let's get a bit of sun flare. Come on. Oh, look at that. How's that? Sun flare on a catch, on a cross. Pretty cool. There's a couple more Molesworth. So obviously a few of the large families are, well, again, born St Kilda, John Robert Nassau Molesworth. Born St Kilda. So they were born in Melbourne and came out to the country. More recent graves. Little seat out here. And someone's kindly put a little tub under there, I guess, to put your rubbish. And there's a little spray bottle of water too somebody's left for flowers. Just pretty cool. And this particular grave's got some lovely... Are they real? They can't be real. No way. No, they're plasticky. That's what I was going to say. They can't be real. They look too good to be real. I think that's just a tree stump out there, but I'll have a look on the way back. This here looks like it's a recent plot. In time they will probably do something with it. Quite nice out here. We've got a hooty bird out here too. Now a lot of people, I always thought that was an owl, because we hear them out at the Botanic Gardens out in Ballarat, and they're actually not. They're a form of pigeon that makes that sort of noise, if you can hear the hooting. And they're mostly ground birds too, we've found, so there you go. Alright, trying out a little less spots. And if there's any spirit around that want to have a bit of a chat to us, please do so. Just have a little bit of a walk around, but if there's any spirit that want to come up to my camera equipment over here, you're most welcome to do so. Now, I don't know if this little light with radio stuff is going to affect take too, but there's any spirit around the wish to have a look at the camera and see the equipment, hear the noise coming from the S-box, the little radio, you can put your energy towards all that sort of stuff. And you can interact with us. If there's anyone around, you can call out your name, use the electrical equipment, the camera equipment I've got there, and put your energy towards it. See if you can call out your name for me. Well, I have a little bit of a wander around here. Look at some of these ones. Some of these ones here are not all that old. William, Thomas, Mildred. Most of these are around about 1970s. Norman.
grey Irwin. This is a very new grade. One that nothing has been done to just yet.
'll just turn that off for the moment and just review that. When I get to editing, I'll have a look at that and see if anything's come up. To be honest, it feels like a very quiet cemetery when it comes to spirit activity. And that's okay, because sometimes you do get that. Quite a nice looking one though. Somebody needs to come and mow the lawn. This one here has got me attracted to it. Quite like this one. Now my gear I've got set on a tripod. So I've got everything hooked up to this tripod here, which I like to carry around. It makes it a little bit heavier, but at least I've got like the S-Box and I've got the K2 on it. I've got the little microphone and speaker set up, and you know, some basics. But yeah, this one's got me. Just quite like this, and it's a nice little scenic shot just as the sun starts to go down. And as I said, this is the first time I've been out here. Didn't know this cemetery existed until a couple of days ago when I had a look on Google Earth and spotted this cemetery and thought, wow, it's not all that far out of town. Around about 25-minute drive-ish. And I thought, well, why not? We'll go out and have a bit of a look. And there's nothing like the country. Love the country. At least if we come here at night, I know the layout now because I've been here while we've had a little bit of sunshine, and that's a big thing too, because you do want to know a little bit about the layout of a place. There's nothing worse than going into a cemetery in the dead of night, no light whatsoever apart from your own torch, and you know, the amount of holes that you could fall over. Now this is, I'm not exactly sure why people would do this. Fence off a tree for some reason. Not sure why. Doesn't seem to be any headstones or markings there. We've got a bit of K2 activity there. Whoops, I'll pop this down again. So if there's any spirit that want to come along, play with this K2, please do so. Feel free to do so. It's a lovely cemetery. I like it out here, nice and calm. I'm actually feeling the spirit right behind me at the moment. I feel it is a male. I feel that they were one of the old farmers of the area. But that's about the only spirit that I actually have felt. You kind of get a bit of a chill, you know, when they're standing right behind you. He's backed right off now. So he's just wandering around. He's probably just being a little bit protective of the place, as they are, and just sussing out what you're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you had a stranger coming into your property or somewhere where you were, you'd be sussing them out a little bit too. But to all the spirit here, I do come with a lot of respect and a lot of love, and I send a lot of blessings. The sun's going down nicely, and these are country roads that I'm not familiar with, so I think I better hightail it a little bit, get onto the main roads. I did kind of lose my way a little bit while coming here, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit of this small country cemetery, Morrison's. Pretty muchly in the middle of between nowhere and nowhere, and a lot of farming property out here. A couple of horses registered in the background, and lots of cows, and you could probably hear hooting in the background here as well, and that is a form of a pigeon type of bird. It's not an owl. So there you go. Alright, hope you've enjoyed. Catch you again soon.